Welcome to the show before the show, where I check to make sure everything's working. I'm your host, Patrick Marlette, your local game guy, with co-host Will.
Sup?
Dude, not much. I'm pretty sweaty right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, you cats and kittens. I have AC over there, but I don't know how it's gonna sound with this mic because I haven't tested it. So I'm just gonna sweat it out like a little piggy. How about you, Master of
I'm
HVAC?
good. I'm good.
Is it weird
Nothing.
to just put myself in misery? Actually, it's gonna put me in the right mind state for this deck today. I'm gonna
Indeed.
want to sacrifice everything. Just
Endless suffering. Endless suffering.
right. So, if you guys didn't catch our previous stream, guess what? Braids is back, baby. Which means she's on the
Braids
game.
is back. All right. Dicky.
Right. So, when we move cards from the restricted list, say it with me, they're game changers, or at least that's how it functions in the beta. So, if we're operating on the bracket scale, and if you're wondering how we're doing this, she's minimally bracket 3, right? So Braids Cabal Minion, if we're unfamiliar with her, she's in the thumbnail, and I'm assuming that's why a majority of you are watching right now. Oh God. See, this is why we do the show before the show, because stuff like this happens. Sack me, mommy, is the deck, and Braids is right there. Okay, so Braids, previously banned because she was kind of unfun and notably pseudo mass land destruction. Mass everything destruction, really. So it's 4 CMC, 2/2 minion legend, very easy to crush. But if you stick her early, which is pretty easy to do in black, at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices an artifact, creature, or land. Enchantments, you are safe. So, Will, I've brewed a lot of mono black in my days. And honestly, one of my loves and still one of my favorite lists is Flip Lily. Like, it's just an idea of a combo deck that's honestly not that great, but very fun to play. I enjoy Tiny Bones quite a bit. That's maybe my favorite thing to do in mono black. Run stacks, run just hand hate, and make people discard. It's exactly the opposite of the kind of value manders you typically see in a cEDH setting. Where do you feel Braids falls in the lineup of extremely casual to potentially competitive?
I think Braids is probably bracket 4. Way too powerful for casual play because,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, getting in black, you're the ritual color. Any kind of ramp makes it so that you get a turn 3 Braids in any of the lower bracket formats. But you can get like a turn 1, turn 2 Braids in cEDH semi-consistently because it's kind of like Crom, but a little bit easier because you don't need the blue pip. Um, so yeah, if you get Braids out early, people suffer, and then as long as you're hitting your land drops until you find something that just says, "Oh, make a token every turn," or reanimate this every turn, then you win because Braids just says, "Oh, I'm asymmetrical now. Everybody sack a land. I sack this reassembling skeleton that I just brought back. I bring back reassembling skeleton."
Hmm. Right. So if you guys are wondering what the strategy is, I don't think, and don't quote me, we're going to be running necessarily any infinite combos in this deck. Maybe, again, like Will was saying, we could run lines of play that allow us to reanimate things consistently, but it won't be a means to an end. We're not trying to finish the game that way. One thing we could do, if we want to go really crazy, is incorporate Praetor's Grasp and use Tainted Pack and Demonic Consultation in this deck, and we can steal wins. I wouldn't necessarily advise this, but you could steal a Thassa's Oracle. You will still need to cast it per its cost, but if we're running rocks that could accommodate for that, then maybe it's something we could do, double blue. I don't think that's the way we're going to go, though. This is kind of like a hurry up and wait situation with her, right? So it's going to be a weird playtest today, unless you guys can think of any mono black combos you would like to incorporate.
My thing with Braids is the game plan really is get Braids out turn 1 or turn 2, and if you do that, you win. And that's kind of how Braids works, because
Yeah.
if Braids comes out turn 2, you're not ramping. You're keeping the mana you have, and if you don't win in like 2 turns, you're gonna be going down a lot of mana, and then you're gonna be just burning daylight, you're screwed. Also, random news. So my brother's getting married in June 1st, and I was part of his groom's party, and we have a like one signature thing for the groomsmen, which is the pinky ring.
Okay.
We got
Oh,
a gold, or I don't know if it's gold or if it's brass, or I think it's probably brass, but we got pinky rings. So if anybody sees that and is like, "What the heck?" That's what that's for.
no, that's dope, man.
Oh,
Congratulations to your brother.
and uh, for the bachelor party, we went to a
Everyone got a braids.
yeah, everyone got a
You
braids. No, it was a
facilitated.
4-man braids game. That's how we celebrated his.
Who's got the lotus petal swamp dark rid? Just end it. Just end it already. Dude, that's
But
awesome.
for his bachelor party, we went to a local shooting range that was nearby, and I was able to startle everybody because I've not shot in like 8 years, and I they handed me an iron sight pistol. They're like, okay, here's how you release the mag since you haven't shot in a while. And then I proceeded to frickin' Hawkeye shoot the target with the best grouping out of everybody else in the group, including the guys who shoot weekly with an iron sight pistol, and
Hmm.
everybody lost their minds.
Was it like a target practice pistol, like a 22, or was it a higher caliber? Would you say?
Lower caliber. It was
Okay.
a kind of target shooting pistol. Nothing. We had the higher caliber ones. I had more difficulty with that, but it was
Mm.
just a regular practice shooting pistol.
That's awesome, man.
But so I was able to have that bragging moment, and then after that, we went to a new kind of dive bar place because it had good food reviews, and then we went back to my brother's place and we played a ton of Jackbox.
Oh God, yeah, we've played a ton of Jackbox. Sean, if you're watching this, I know I should be practicing One Piece, but don't worry, I've been practicing all week. So, guys, that's show before the show. This is Braids. Let's crack into it. I like Steve's suggestion of potentially running Smog, Chain of Smog, and Sedgemoor Witch with Professor Onyx and Ayara First of Lochthwain for combos. Like, those are options. I do think that's something we should consider. It's important. Tiny Bones might be the only exception, and usually it's mono black that becomes the only exception, but it's one of those colors where there's enough of a particular type of strategy that you can kind of rely on it. Although I do prefer to have a game closing line of play in every deck just so that you don't run into time. I think that's the one thing keeping this from being totally competitive is at a cEDH table, I think if people see this, they're probably going to mulligan to make sure that they don't suffer this or hope that someone else is. If everyone's extremely greedy, then maybe you just get away with it. But I mean, outside of people conceding, it may be hard to pull wins without some form of like ping damage, like repeatedly doing damage each turn.
Well, you know
We'll
what I
see.
think would probably be the best way to close the game with Braids while also making it so Braids sticks a bit better?
Coalition victories, 5 colors, sir.
I know, but putting in all of the equipment that just give some form of protection and
Mm,
a stat buff, like Commander's Plate or
I
a
like that.
Champion's Helm, stuff like that,
Is
that
there?
just says
Uh,
you're not touching Braids, game's locked, good game.
yeah, hell yeah.
Get
It's
get
mid.
punched by the 6/6 Commander.
Yeah, it's Mims. I like your suggestion. Honestly, Will, I don't know why it slipped in my mind. They did
Yeah, the
suggest like
Asmo ooze.
the buried alive combo. That is something we can do. If you wanna if you wanna put that back in the chat, I saw that for a hot second, but I saw your suggestion for Scourge Familiar, and there is one particular line for that card. So that is something we could do. Buried alive piles are a very much real thing, so we should probably consider that. Though I think we'll probably try to hard focus the reassembling things. Will, I mean, you tell me. I think the thing we want to start with minimally, and we're going to suss out what bracket this falls into. Like Will was suggesting, it's probably bracket 4 tops. Mono black in particular, like, isn't the strongest mono color for competitive play, but it's good enough, and we'll see if we can't take it there. I think we should probably start with some rituals. Do we want like blood pets, like piggy banks, things like that, or do we just want to like rely on
I like
pure
Blood
rituals?
Pet just because it's a good turn one play.
Yeah, and just something to do. I mean, Are there what's the other one? Isn't there another form of blood pet, like by way of
Basal. Sorry, it's like Basal Thrall or something like that. It's
if you look that up, I'm gonna type in some of the other ones. I think we might use Jeweled Amulet as a
oh,
piggy bank.
Basal Thrall. I'm sorry.
Basol Thrall?
Yeah,
Biz,
THRULL.
this is the
The
double black.
Pretzel Man.
The Pretzel Man. There's a couple, actually. Take your
Yeah,
pick.
but the Pretzel Man is the known art. That and the
Oof.
first one, the original Fallen Empire printing. Oh no,
Sorry.
all these are Fallen Empire.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Remember when they did this? It's like this is like it's essentially what we're getting nowadays,
Okay,
but
what says Braids most out of all of
the
these?
Foglio. But I'm biased. The Foglio, the people being sacrificed.
Yeah,
The poor.
yeah.
This is like back when they didn't really know what the fuck a thrall should look like. They're like, what? Summon thrall? You said prompts. What? It looks like a what? Because everyone has their own interpretation. But I'm sorry,
Oh,
we're gonna go
Sinkhole Surveyor is a good one. It makes bodies. It's what's it called? The thing that you were saying before.
piggy bank.
Bitter Blossom. It's Bitter Blossom, but it's on attack, so you get to choose to not do it whenever you want.
Oh, sinkhole, the one that's being suggested.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, I like it. It's not a combo. I like it quite a bit. I think for now we'll add in Chain of Smog and Sedgemoor, just to have
Oh,
those as options, whether we use them or not. Sorry, Will.
that is probably a package that I like more of a Warren Soul Trader, Blood Artist, Forsaken Miner. Because the reason why I don't like the Asmo Ooze combo is because it adds in a whole bunch of dead cards into the deck, but Warren Soul Trader is always just a mana producer. Blood Artist makes it so that
Trader
the
makes
Bitter Blossom
the
effects
treasures. I'm
don't.
sorry, the trader makes treasures.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. Warren Soul Trader is a Phyrexian Altar, but it makes treasures instead of mana. Um, then you have a Blood Artist, which we could toss in a couple Blood Artist effects and then Bitter Blossom effects. And then Forsaken Miner, which is whenever you commit a crime, you can pay a black to reanimate it.
Are there better blood artist effects in the game right now? I feel like there's a handful of blood artists that do it better, like the aristocrats thing, than our blood artist. I mean,
The
Zulaport
reason why
Cutthroat is
Blood
an
Artist is good is
oldie.
because it commits a crime for the combo.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's such good art too. Yeah, we'll keep it. We'll leave one blood
We
artist
can
for now.
also do Gravecrawler. Gravecrawler's good as well because Gravecrawler Warren Soul Trader is just really dumb because Warren Soul Trader is a zombie.
Does that not require to tap?
No, no, no. Warren Soul Trader's sack a creature, make a treasure,
Gain a life.
and lose a
Or
life,
lose a
and
life,
lose a life.
rather. Yeah, we need to figure out how to get around that. Um,
Nine lives familiar was brought up, and it's basically a reassembling skeleton that we don't have to pay for. Um,
Sorry, this might be
look,
loud.
no,
It's happening well.
all right. Couldn't suffer. End the suffering.
If that's loud, I'm sorry. We'll find out. There should be noise canceling on the side. I'm just checking. No, there's definitely not noise canceling. I'm gonna let it get a little cooler in here. If you tell me if it's unbearable, and then I'll go back to sweating it out. It's okay. I've got tequila. A mezcal, I should say. All right. Nine Lives Familiar. You like this card, Will?
It's not bad. Basically, for those who don't know, when you cast it, it enters with 8 revival counters, and then when it would die, instead you remove a revival counter.
It's so cute.
Or sorry, when it dies, it comes back at the beginning of the next end step with
Oh.
1 fewer revival counters. But yeah, it's a good enough card. It has 2 arts. You have the fluffy art, and then you have the adorable art.
No, we need the pet with the skull. It
Yeah,
reminds me of my
more thematic.
yeah, it reminds me of my
Um,
cat Amelie so much. Aw,
But
she's so sad.
Nine Lives Familiar is a maybe for me. Someone brought it up in chat. It's not bad. I
He means
think
no.
reassembling skeleton style things are a little bit better. Um, let's see.
Culling the Weak.
Yeah, Calling the Weak is a good ritual.
You know what? Actually, would we go so far as to sacrifice something, Will? Is there a world in which that works well? We're not going to use
Yeah,
Priest of
well,
Gix
our
or
entire deck is
anything.
making creature tokens that we can sacrifice to Braids,
Right,
so...
but well, sacrifice though requires it has a converted mana cost associated with it.
Oh, sorry, no,
Oh, I
literally.
meant like
Not the
actual
mechanic
sacrifice.
sacrifice, the
No,
spell sacrifice, yes.
yeah, I know. I don't know if we're gonna go that
Sacrifice is a
high.
no.
Do we want to play Priest of Gix? Like that's just a nice because in my mind it's a piggy bank that we sacrifice to our. It's a gift we give ourselves, Will, but it's a weird piggy bank. It's not a very good one.
Is Gix sack another?
Gix is sadly when it's sacrificed, it produces 3 black mana.
Oh no, yeah, that's that. Never mind. Yeah, no, we're not running.
No, if
Gix.
we wanted to like ramp out on a turn, I'm thinking that's
Also,
kind
I
of a
think
cool
Priest
way to
of
do
Gix
it.
is ETB.
Is it ETB or sacrifice? You know what?
It's
You're probably.
ETB.
It's been a minute. It's probably ETB.
What was
frankly.
I thinking of? I thought you were talking about the frickin' priest guy that is tap sacrifice a black creature or an artifact creature and make black equal to its cost. That's what I thought you were bringing up for a second.
No. Infestation Mage? Infestation Sage, excuse me. They're very different things. When this creature dies, create a 1/1 black green insect token creature with flying. This is self sustaining. I feel like. I'm actually liking Fumulus the Infestation. We do need engines that generate tokens, okay? Yes. I don't know that this is my favorite route. Are we going to run smokestacks in this deck? Or do
I
you
don't
want?
think we need to. Our commander kind of does the job well enough.
When Shambling Gas dies, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, or create a treasure token. I don't know that we need these. I kind of like Shambling Ghast, right? It's a zombie for your Gravecrawler, I guess, but Greedy Freebooter.
I don't like Shambling Ghast.
I don't know that it makes the cut. I maybe worthy in a different version. Greedy Freebooter though, when it dies, scry and create a treasure.
Bloodsoaked Champion.
Oh yeah, that's come
If you
back
attack,
from
you can
the
pay
dead.
2 black and then reanimate it.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that, Will. Priest of Gix, Chthonian Nightmare. Is this a deck for Chthonian Nightmare?
Chthonian Nightmare work. Chthonian Nightmares died.
Not even in mono black, you say?
Not even in mono black.
But you get to sacrifice a creature, Will, for energy.
No.
You don't think it's good enough? And you never have to worry about sacrificing it because it's an enchantment.
Really quick, do we want to run Persistent Specimen? It's
He doesn't even
Reassembling
care.
Skeleton, but it costs 1 less to play, but it costs 1 more to revive.
It's the same difference, right? Except ultimately
Well,
you're going to pay a lot
every
more.
time you reanimate it, but
Yeah,
you
you're
can play
paying-
it earlier for calling the weak.
Well, the answer is yes for now. Okay, give me the names for all the reassembling things.
That's what I'm looking up right now. It's Reassembling
'cause we're there.
Skeleton, the Persistent Specimen,
We just
Bloodsoaked
put
Champion.
We put the minor. I put Bloodsoaked Champion. Wait, I'm sorry. Chthonian Nightmares, Infinite. Wait. Greedy Freebooter, Priest of Gix, and Chthonian Nightmares, Infinite Sack triggers Infinite Energy. Sorry. Bloodghast and maybe Oathsworn Vampire. Bloodghast is an oldie and a goldie. I'll look at that real quick. I remember this card was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money until it got reprinted for the 20th time.
Yeah, Bloodghast. We don't really care about the haste. The landfall is relevant. I mean, I think we could do Bloodghast. It's like it's an easy-ish include. And maybe Oathsworn Vampire. Oathsworn is if we lose life, gain life. Give me 1 second. Enters the battlefield tapped. You may cast Oathsworn Vampire from your graveyard if you gained life this turn. We'll have to figure out ways to do that, but I will put him on the sideboard for now. Will, I feel like you're on to something.
There's one thing that I totally forgot about that is probably good enough. So first, we have Ashnod, Flesh Mechanist, which is a 1-mana 1/1 Death Toucher that when it attacks... Oh, no, never mind. That's sacrifice another thing. I was looking for... There's cards that when they tap or when something happens, you make an artifact token. So I was trying to find all of those.
I mean, this makes an artifact token, but it's off
But an
the.
astronaut makes you sack something.
Yeah.
Uh, we don't want, we want positive. We don't want net neutral. What I was thinking of as a very specific example. Wait,
Does
hold
this
on.
wait? Does this deck run the Academy Rector? Academy what? No, Academy. What's the little
Manufacturer.
manufacturer? Yeah, the little robot that could. Do we run that if we're generating tokens?
Um, no, because we don't need to generate mass tokens. We just
No,
need to generate the occasional.
it feels a little win more, but I mean, I feel like the clue and the treasure are valid, and you can likely just sacrifice the food. I mean,
Uh,
but I understand.
Forsworn Paladin is one.
Nether Trader is another. Jordan W says. Nether
Um,
Trader. Sorry, yeah, we are just on a reanimation kick right now, so we're just looking at things that can be brought back from the dead.
okay, here's the one I was thinking of. Horde Robber. One in a black for a creature that when it deals combat damage to a player, you create a treasure. It's just a Ragavan in black, that does Ragavan things.
What's his name again? What's
Also,
his name again?
it is Horde Robber, and
Horde
then
Robber.
similar effect for Zentarum Bandit, Zhentar.
Zentarum. Dude, you're making me spell words that don't
I
exist.
know.
What, how do you. I can spell bandit. Oh,
Can you?
Z bandit. Yeah, I think I got it. Zentarum bandit. Let's see what the art looks like. Okay, it's lame. Okay,
It is indeed.
sorry. Nether Trader's good
Wow.
though. Nether Trader's good because I believe it counts your opponent's things as well. Whenever another creature's put into your graveyard, never mind. Ass. I'm just kidding. It's
Uh,
probably playable still, so we'll keep it.
Treasure Dredger, by the way, is maybe the last make a treasure thing. It's
Treasure
pay one.
Dredger.
Yeah. Pay one, tap it, pay a life, make a treasure. It's a mana bank.
Man, a bank. Man, a bank. Treasure Dredger.
Make bank.
Yeah, we like that. We like making bank. All right. Are we missing any rocks? Rocks.
We should
Chrome
throw in all of
Mox.
the. Oh, wait, did I see you run there? Add Nether Shadow. I don't think we need Nether Shadow.
It happened already. We'll kick it though if we don't need it
Okay.
for real. I put Lotus Petal before I put anything else. My priorities. Are we running Felwar Stone, Will?
I think that we full send it on cEDH. We'll just say that it's bracket 5 for the sake of it. But Arcane Signet, Felwar Stone,
Mine
Mana
Stone?
Crypt, Soul Ring. Or sorry, not Mana Crypt, not Mana Crypt. No.
Mana
I'm
Vault?
so used to throwing in all of the fast mana that I'm like, oh yeah, Mana Crypt's banned. That
Yeah.
shows how long it's been since I've built a cEDH deck.
Still banned. I was really hoping upon hopes that they would save my boy Oswald.
No,
He's fine. He's fine though.
you're acting like Oswald's dead, even though
Yeah.
he's still as fast as he's ever
Yeah.
been.
No, he's fine. You could do a lot more with a Mana Crypt, though. I'm not gonna lie. Soul Ring's cute, though. All right. I think that's it for rocks. 2 CMC rocks. Do you want the Mind Stones of the world, Will, or no?
So
Just generic,
if
not
we hit like
tickle
a
your.
piece of fast mana, then a 2 mana rock and another land means that we will get Braids turn 2. So I think overkilling it on rocks is not a bad idea.
No, I like overkilling it. Are there any things that subsequently? I understand like the creatures you guys are suggesting, but I want them to do things beyond just being a sacrificial object.
Yeah, like the things that I said that make treasures. You added the what is it, Sinkhole Scout?
Sinkhole Scout? Did I?
Whenever it attacks, it endures 1, meaning that you get to make a 1/1 spirit and you pay 1 life.
I added Sinkhole Surveyor.
A Surveyor, sorry, the Surveyor is what I meant. New card, I don't know the name yet.
It's okay. Grim Monolith.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's Braids? Braids is double generic, double black, or?
Yeah, it's not full paying for Braids, but if you get a Grim Monolith out turn 1, that's turn 2 Braids usually.
Okay, that's not so bad. Let's take a step back and look at this glorious deck. Aptly named Sack Me Mommy. We're probably gonna cut some lands because I don't believe in 35. only
I
because we're
believe in 35 when every land is another braid sack,
right.
if need be.
Specifically, though, we should have some MDFCs in here, so that'll make up for some of the loss.
Oh, also, we totally could add the no duh things for the deck, like a or Jadar, Ghoul Caller of Nephalia.
Yeah,
He just at the end of the turn, if you control no creatures with the Dicky, you get to make a 2/2 zombie with the Dicky.
Jadar.
Yeah, Jadar. Also,
Jadar.
that is my one thing that got my friend to both break down laughing and then also tear apart a deck. It was the one Demir commander that makes zombie tokens with decay. I just kept breaking out the Australian accent and saying, "Hey, you make a zombie with a dicky.
At the
Hey,
beginning,
creature can't block and whatever attacks it gets sacrificed. It's got dicky."
this is the one I'm. Wait, am I looking at the right one? At the beginning of your end step, if you control no creatures with decay.
Yeah, you just make a 2/2 zombie on every end step so that you have something to sack the
It's
braids.
pretty tight in the deck. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
put Jadar in.
it's a bitter blossom, but we don't lose life. Unfortunately, we get it on end step and not upkeep, meaning that it's a little bit awkward sometimes, but we're good. We live with that.
You use Liquid Metal Torque for 2 mana rock. You know, why not?
And we can use all of those black artifact removal cards.
How does Braids read again? At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices an artifact, creature, or land. If for whatever reason they don't have one of those things, we can make one an artifact.
We can turn Rhystic Study into an artifact and force them to sack it.
That's actually kind of funny.
Pitiless, I like that, yeah.
Pitiless Plunderer? What a pitiless...
When a creature dies, or when a creature you control dies, you make a treasure. I don't think we care about Pitiless Plunder.
I mean, it's kind of high-costed. It's fighting for them.
I like
it.
Riches more than Pitiless Plunder because it works off when our opponent's stuff dies. But
are we going to do Revel?
Run Revel and Riches.
No, I think we should, Will.
I
think we could. I think we should. I think we could. This is how I want to win the game, Will. This is how I want to win.
The issue with that, though, Patrick, is no one is going to be playing creatures because no one has any mana.
They'll find the mana.
They'll find the mana to give me the win.
Oh, wait. No. We put Forbidden Orchard. We give them spirits, Will. We give
We're
them
not
spirits.
giving people sack fodder for Braids, Patrick.
We will, though. You only whip it out when you know you've got Revel and Riches in play. Torment of Hailfire for a finisher? Yeah, you could. Are you also playing Smokestack's Form of More? See, aggro, that's what I suggested. But Will said no. Will said he didn't like it. My idea was doo-doo.
Smokestacks in Braids is it is going to make it so that we are burning ourselves faster than we're burning everybody else. We could run it as redundancy if we really want, but...
That's my philosophy. So my philosophy is like if Braids dies, you may put set counters on this. So you could have this like dialed back or fully cranked. And depending on what we have so far as creating like sacrificial objects, then smokestacks could be really good for scaling. It's a good redundancy in the 99. I don't disagree with Will that our priority should just be putting Braids down and protecting it, but if there's space, I still kind of like it. Holy crap! Sorry, this countdown kit. I didn't know there was another smokestacks that looked like this. Shit. I just kind of want...
Commander's Plate. We probably want Commander's
Right.
Plate with Boots, Lightning Greaves, and Champion's Helm.
Champion's Helm, you say?
Yeah, +2/+2 if the creature is legendary, also hexproof.
Commander Plate, Champion Helm. What was the other one you wanted to use? Not Lightning Greaves.
Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot.
Oh, okay. Those do make sense. Those do make
sense. We can also run Sword of Light and Shadow is pretty decent as a way to protect against white and black and a way to get Braids back to our hand if Braids dies. So we don't
Does
have
it
to
break
deal
something
with
back?
text. Yeah, so Light and Shadow is deals combat damage, you gain 3 life, and you return a creature from grave to hand.
We've got a Turgrid alert. Turgrid alert, everyone. Are we running Turgrid? Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from the graveyard onto the battlefield.
That is honestly a fine finisher. If just stealing everybody's lands and then stealing everybody's creatures, including commanders. It will steal commanders.
Does it sequence that way?
Yeah, it's whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent, you put that card. Oh yeah, from a graveyard. Never mind, you don't steal commanders. Never mind.
Unless they let you.
Yeah, which they won't.
They're like, please end this. Oh, you know what? That's a pretty dope suggestion with Crucible.
You know what's... Yeah, Crucible's really good.
Hell
you know
yeah.
what is a brutal card and also really good protection? Sword of War and Peace. Protection from red and protection from white, and when you deal combat damage, gain life equal to your hand size, and then the opponent loses life equal to their hand size.
Love it.
No one's playing cards into Braids, because at some point they just hold up everything and just say, I'm waiting until I hit my combo and enough fast mana to play it. So we're hitting them for 7 every single time.
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of enjoying this list so far. Crucible of Worlds is a great idea, Aggro. Thank you. How about the Braids Arisen Nightmare for card draw?
Yeah, it's the other Braids that makes people sack stuff. You gotta choose the thing that everybody has to sack a permanent of that type. That's not bad. That's
oh my god, this is Sack Me Mommy energy all over it.
Indeed. Well, it's the same character. It's just one's a Phyrexian.
No, look at the art on the screen.
Well, I'll have to wait for it to pop up.
Oh,
also, Sword of Wealth and Power, protection from instants and sorceries. Oh, I see. Yeah,
we'll go with the Sack
art.
Me Mommy version. I don't need to read it. Actually, should I read it? I do want to read it. We'll leave this on screen.
Sword of Wealth and Power, though, is protection from instants and sorceries, and dealing combat damage lets you fork the next thing you play, and you get a treasure.
Wait, what? Wait. I'm sorry. Wait. I'm still putting the Nightmare Mommy in here. What was sort of which way in that other?
And power. Protection from instants and sorceries. Dealing combat damage gets you a treasure and forks the next instant or sorcery you play.
Seems pretty damn good. Do we want a Torment of Hailfire now?
No, we care about that because protection from all of the removal and get a treasure every turn.
Sword of the Animist for pulling out basics. I don't hate that.
Yeah, it's a way to get a thing for Braids. Not bad. Worst case, it's ramp.
Worst case, it's ramp. That's such a weird way to put it.
We don't need mana. Mana's for the weak.
Menace for the weak. Menace for green decks. Grave Pact, though, whenever a creature you control dies, each other player sacrifices a creature.
That is overkill in cEDH, but that's kind of fine for casual. It's if people go wide enough, that's not bad. But I think if we're just draining people down, we don't need to.
How about Bloodchief Ascension? Well, the 1 mana enchantment that could potentially.
Also, Grave Pact, one of the issues with Grave Pact is everybody's going to choose to sacrifice their only creature, then we get the Grave Pact.
Yeah. At the beginning of each end step, and if opponent lost 2 or more life this turn, you put a... Yep, so the only way we're doing that is attacking with Braids, realistically.
Yeah, punching.
I mean, you could. Whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, 3 or more counters on it. Is this like a way of closing out the game is the idea? I don't know, Will. How do you feel about Bloodchief Ascension?
I think equipment, just doing equipment things is probably the better way of closing out the game.
Telling me we're making... Wait.
We're making it incidental Voltron.
No, you want Voltron, Will. You straight up said that this is the way to go. You are specifically aiming for Voltron.
The thing is, it is the best form of protection for our commander, and it speeds up our clock.
I mean, yeah.
The thing is, we're not stacking things on Braids. We are putting 1 equipment on Braids and then surviving.
Other people play Arden. We go for Braids. No, I actually really like this. Did you put the one that makes wolves so you can sacrifice them? What's that one? Sort of.
Body and Mind.
Body and Mind. You want to do
That
that?
is the one that no one ever plays. It's a mill 10 and then make a 2/2 wolf.
Wait, why don't we have Fire and Ice? You don't like drawing and bolting
We
things?
can do fire and ice. It's the only reason why not fire and ice is because usually protection from red it doesn't do a ton.
Damn, you hear that, people? They don't care. He don't care
I
about
mean, what
your
are they gonna
braid.
do?
A
Bolt
braid.
or braid or braids? Fine, that's the 2 pieces of removal that they run.
Even if
Zio's
they're
Justice there. That's 3. How many removals does blue have? Like
surprise,
20.
surprise, they're on shock. Will you should have thought about that? You know, oh, you know what? They're on a Clasm, which actually, well, protection from red spells. It would protect us from a
It
Clasm, right?
protects damage.
Well, there you go. There you go. Simple little pyroclasm gonna fuck your day. You're like, no, 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 sir. Fire and ice, specifically fire. All right. Black. What are we doing? 17 cards left. Will, come on. This isn't just
Do we
Voltron.
tutors?
We don't. No, we need these. We don't need those.
Tutors and
Consistency.
removal.
You want consistency? Ugh.
We have Cabal Ritual, Dark Ritual, already in there, right?
Yeah. Artie.
Already.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that we weren't missing like the really obvious rituals.
No. Never. Never. By the way, is anyone watching Lazarus on Max? Let me know your feelings on it. I wish I liked it more, but I'm watching it. Creator of Cowboy Bebop. Will, have you watched Cowboy Bebop?
Oh, I have not.
Oh, God, Will, what are we wasting our time for? Building braids. You should be
Oh,
watching Cowboy Bebop.
Patrick.
What?
We forgot the new spice. Dragonfire Blade. +2/+2 and hexproof from monocolor.
Is Dragonfire one word? Oh, it is.
Yes.
Holy crap, that is some spice.
That's actually just a really good equipment.
Oh, for each color, so it costs 3 to equip?
For 3. That's fine, though. It's findable off of Urza Saga.
Oh, do we have Urza Saga in here? Yeah, we do.
We do. I think the list I gave you had Urza Saga in it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Court of Ambition. Oppression. Bloodchief Ascension Mindcrank is a win, potentially. Do we want a Bloodchief Mindcrank, Will?
That's fine. Bloodchief Mindcrank is probably the most compact combo we can run. Sedgemoor Witches and Chain of Smog is probably the only other one, because it just gives us infinite 1/1s, and then somebody dies on the next turn. And by somebody, I mean everybody.
Oh, I didn't add all the tutors yet. Are we going to beseech the mirror? Do we want to find the One Ring?
We have enough sack fodder that Beseech is pretty good. I don't think we need the One Ring, but we might be able to run the One Ring. Actually, the One Ring kills us. No, we don't run the One Ring. This is the one time that I'm going to be like, the One Ring is bad. Not because it doesn't give draw fast enough, but because our deck is too slow.
I don't know that we die before we get to Value City. I think we could outwit the One Ring. I think we'll be able to throw it into Mordor. I think we'll throw it into Mordor this time.
The only other concern is people punching us down, but we should be fine. We're more likely than not going to be completely fine.
If you're doing
Voltron, let's go with One Ring. I agree. I like it.
Put on Karsi Revenant so that when it dies, you can put counters on Braids.
Do we want to run like just the general reanimation things to bring back Braids for cheaper?
Should put in some package, but how about Karsi Revenant? This is a new one. Flying Death Touch Lifelink. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put a flying counter, Death Touch counter, Lifelink counter on target. I'm sorry. Wait. You put all those counters?
Yeah, all in one thing. There's a better one. It gives a indestructible counter.
Which is...
I will look that up really quick. It's a card that no one ever runs, and I ran it in one deck. He's a lightning bolt guy, or ball lightning guy.
It's kind of cool. In black?
Yeah, in black.
Okay, Braids can sack the One Ring. Well,
oh, true.
Braids can sack the One Ring.
That is one. Braids is the Fire of Mordor.
She is chaotic enough that
Oh,
not even the One Ring could have tempted her. She's like, I'm not that interested.
I am Mount Doom.
I am.
Daring Fiend Bonder.
I'm sorry, wait. We're going to look at Pact Weapon, and then we're going to look at Daring Fiend Bonder. As long as Pact Weapon is attached to a creature, you don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. Whenever a equipped creature attacks, draw a card and reveal it. The creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, loses X life, where X is the card's mana value. That's a weird one. I kind of like it, but let's look at Daring Fiend Bonder. All right, it is a little bit more expensive, Will, but I'll hear you out. Attacks each combat of Fable, 5/1. Exile it. Put an indestructible counter on target creature. Activate this ability only any time you could cast a sorcery.
So if we want indestructible, this is probably the way of doing indestructible.
Well, I mean, we got indestructible on the One Ring. I'm just kidding.
Well, no, giving it to Braids.
I know.
I don't think Daring Fiend Bonder is the call, but this is the deck to run Daring Fiend Bonder if anywhere.
I think we got enough in the deck to make it happen.
Yeah, the equipment are doing enough.
Yeah, I think. Will, tutors. I've got Demonic Tutor, Vampiric Tutor, Imperial Seal, Wishclaw Talisman, Diabolic Intent. What am I missing that's glaringly obvious here?
You said Beseech the Mirror.
Beseech the Mirror. I want to put Beseech the Mirror in. Yeah,
that's probably the only other one. I think you got all the tutors that we really care about, considering our deck doesn't really care about tutors.
This is true. Reanimate package, Will. Reanimate and removal interaction. We should probably have Imp's Mischief.
Yep.
So far as like the black package is concerned,
Deadly Rollick, Cut Down, and what's the life one? Dismember.
Yes. Also, we should include, what's the one that pick your poison? No.
That's green.
What, isn't there one that makes people sacrifice a enchantment potentially?
There are several that do that. 1 second.
A new one though, and it's asymmetrical.
There are several new ones.
Right, I feel like Black's gotten powered up in that regard. I don't know we need that much of it, but okay, toots are in the deck. Some interaction. We need a little bit more interaction. Snuff Out I will subscribe to. I like Snuff Out. If guys, feed me,
Seymour. Feed me all night long.
Interactions.
Okay, Mire in Misery. Each player or each opponent sacrifices an enchantment or creature.
Mire in Misery. Oh yeah. Okay, Feed the Swarm and Withering Torment.
Ain't no creature you can feed to me. Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how the original version went.
Enchantments are deceased.
You thought your Ristic study was saying
two commanders killing me. Oh yeah.
What else do we need interaction wise? Withering Torment. I thank you guys. Yeah.
Farika's Libation is another one. Choose one. Target opponent sacrifices a creature, or target opponent sacrifices an enchantment.
What did you just call me?
I called you a libation.
Oh, that's not a bad thing. Farika's Libation.
Yeah,
Farika. She's a little expensive for me, sir.
It's three, but it is an instant.
Yeah, but it's
also only hit 1, whereas the other one is 2 mana sorcery, hit 3.
I don't know. I see Hagra Mauling. You got something better than Hagra Mauling, Will? It's murder. It's technically murder if they don't control basic lands, which they might not be. I don't know what they're casting with Rogrek. What are you cat? Nah, I don't know. Wait. We said we wanted to put MDFCs in here though. Terrain. Do we want Haggard Mauling
Mire
Meadows?
and Misery, I think, is that's the thing that oh no, Mire and freaking no, that's the other thing. That's the sack. What is the one that's destroy a planeswalker creature?
Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up.
I should know this. We
No,
put it in like
it's
every single black deck.
two
That
CMC, right? Is it instant?
I think it's an instant. It's a modal. It's the new bolt modal for black with a couple other things.
Strategic Betrayal, is that it?
No, I don't think so. The other one is like Boggart Trawler or whatever, the goblin, but I'm hold on. Nah.
Target player exiles a creature they control and their graveyard. That and all of those. I don't know. I like this one. I like this one, but I don't know that we need this one. I do like it though.
El the Profane.
Oof.
El the Profane.
Flare is non-token, right? Maya in misery. Fell the Profane and Flare of Malice. They both do the same thing. Will you?
Are they both bolt lands?
No. But Flare of Malice, each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the greatest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control.
No.
You don't like Flare of Malice? Okay.
Wow.
I am so sorry for your suggestion being cut down.
I'd rather just run the one black mana thing that says everybody sacrifices a creature.
Do you want to run any like?
I did name it right. Boggart Trawler. That's the goblin that's Bajuka Bog on the front side is a 3/1 goblin, and then just a bolt swamp on the back.
All right, guys, feed me your favorite MDFCs, and do we want Hagra Mauling? It's not like we're on ad nauseum or anything like that.
Yeah, the only MDFCs worth really running are Fel the Profane and Boggart Trawler.
Damn. You heard it here first, people.
And maybe Hagra Mauling or Hagra Mauling.
Hagra. Malachor Rebirth yet? Is Malachor Rebirth in yet? That's a solid question. We will discuss this. Choose target creature. You lose 2 life. Until end of turn, that creature gains. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield under... Malachor Rebirth's good.
Yeah. It's a tap modal, but it's still protection in some scenarios. Worst case scenario, we played as a land and sack it to Braids.
How about you Agadiz nuts, Will?
No.
You don't want
to... No. Yeah. Paying 7 mana to reanimate just Braids does not feel like a great use of time.
But what about, hear me out, do you want Buried Alive in the deck? Do you want Entomb in the deck?
No.
What about at least Entomb? At least Entomb.
No.
Yeah, I'm putting it in. What about...
Entomb is not great unless your commander uses the graveyard, which our commander does not.
Yeah, we're going
to
bring
you
back
have like a very, very graveyard-centric strategy.
Pull back the skeleton! Pull back the thing you want to reanimate. Oh, he's thinking about it now. He's like, oh shit, maybe he's got a point. Entomb is a good card. It's always been good.
Yeah, Entomb's good enough just because it finds the assembling skeletons.
But how do you feel about reanimate?
Just straight reanimate, yeah. Yeah, it's always just a good utility tool.
Is that it though? Or Goryo?
Animate Dead and Dance of the Dead.
Is Goryo's Vengeance until end of turn? Yeah.
Yes. It's a Shallow Grave, but for a legendary.
You said you want Animate Dead?
Yeah, animate and dance.
Dance.
You can really dance. Wow, you can really dance. We've both been dancing all this time. What a coincidence!
Steve Legoth says, Necropotence.
I don't think we need Necropotence, because that's usually better if you have a combo. Like, if you're trying to do, like, burst explosive stuff, that's Necro's territory. We are not doing burst explosive stuff. We are the exact opposite.
Hey, combo. Sorry, I don't know why. I was at karaoke last night for like a good 2 hours. I'm sorry. So if I start singing uncontrollably, it's My wife's fault. No, I told her I would
Well,
take her out. I told her I would take her out.
if you start singing just out of nowhere, it's because of Mire and Misery.
Yeah, frankly. I don't even really like New Maroon 5, but I can appreciate
That song's a banger.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Really just that first album we care about. All right, Will, we're going to cut some cards. We're going to start with the sorceries here. We've got Beseech the Mirror, Chain of Smog.
Wait. Really quick. How many lands do we have, including modals?
You want to make it easy? You want to make it easy, Will?
That is probably the easier way to go, because we already had like a little bit of a high land count. Then we just added in like 4 modals.
We have 35 lands, and I want to say we've got a good one. Hold up. 1, a 2, a 3.
We got 4. We got 4 modals.
4. Do we got 4 modals? I think we got 3.
Sorry,
modals.
No. Turgid is. I saw flipping on Turgid and count that as a modal. Yeah, no, it's 3.
Yeah, but
so we have 38 lands. That is about the same that you would run in a land deck in casual.
So cut some basic swamps, like 5.
Yeah. We can. Yeah, 5 should be good, because that's still 33 lands. And I like having a little bit more lands in Braids.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. We have Drownyard Temple in here, right? Our land base might be a little funky, by the way. Like Land of the Dead, Lake of the Dead, excuse me. Do we have Phyrexian Tower here? We do have Phyrexian Tower. Do we want Lake of the Dead? I guess we do. Isn't that auto Braids?
Decent ramp, but I don't think we probably don't need Lake of the Dead. By the way, pulled this land base from a Crick land base.
Yeah,
I don't think we need Lake of the Dead.
I don't think we need Bazaars of Baghdad either.
Yeah, no that was one that I thought we could cut.
How about Talon Gates of Madara?
I like that, because we can flash that in as a thing to sack to Braids, and it's also removal.
I'm going to add 2 more Swamps to replace those. What are you entombing for? That's a solid question.
Reassembling Skeleton or Forsaken Miner or anything along the lines of those.
Yeah, I just want at least 2 targets. Those are good ones. Those are good ones. Is there a good reanimate target just in general? I mean, we could like entomb reanimate Turgid, and I wouldn't hate that. That's a cheap way to get her ass out.
We could do that with Rozaketh, but I don't think we.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't need to be Rozamamas here. We got the Braids Mama. We're all good. All right, guys. We need to cut 4 cards before we get to live the torment. Beseech.
Ayara, First of Lochthwain.
Oh, wow. Your combo is getting cut.
We already have like 3 other combos. Ayara is just a piece to make a 4-card combo work. We're fine.
Ayara, she can really dance. Look at her. She's dancing. You just cut the 1 dancing card we had.
No, we have Dance of the Dead. And both have been dancing all this time. What a coincidence.
Cabal Coffers? Aw, damn it, you with the good suggestions.
Oh, is that in there as well?
No, it's not. Do you want to cut it if it is?
Yes, I don't want Cabal Coffers.
Wow. But I see that, and I'll raise you a Westvale Abbey.
What? Is Westvale Abbey what I think it is?
It turns into the Profane Prince, yes.
Okay, yeah, that is what I thought it was.
Yeah.
That does make tokens that we can sacrifice, but we don't want that.
I don't know that we want a generic.
Drownyard Temple is in here because we can keep getting it back for 3 mana every turn at instant speed. Westvale Abbey is 5 mana, and we need to keep it in play.
Yeah, Bubbling Muck is interesting utility.
Patrick, we can ramp by entombing Drownyard Temple.
I mean, technically, I guess we could. Yeah, we could entomb Drownyard Temple. Actually, does this also work with Unmarked Grave?
Yeah, Unmarked Grave is just not legendary.
Okay.
We can put in Unmarked Grave.
Yeah, we should do that. Who are we to deny?
We don't do Buried Alive solely because Buried Alive can't find Drownyard Temple. But
no.
Actually, yeah.
What Will is saying is that it's mid.
Indeed.
We always need the strongest interactions, okay? We need the strongest opinions here.
It is really funny because so many people keep saying like Seedborn Muse is in mid, Seedborn Muse is amazing, even in casual. But then Wizards of the Coast went and said, "Yeah, we're putting in profit. We might unban Prophet of Crufix because Seedborn Muse is kind of mid." And I'm just like, ah.
Take that, the game designers. They think it too. Persist. Return target non-legendary creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter on it.
Non-legendary, we want it to be able to hit Braids.
Yeah, we do want it to tap Braids. Sorry, guys. We're all about the sack mommy here.
We're all about that Braids. About that Braids. No trouble.
Braids. Aggro, I don't think we're on Bubbling Muck for much the same reason you're discussing. Like, Bubbling Muck, though, provided we have a mana rock out, you could Bubbling Muck and, like, Braids off the rock. If you have 2 swaps. I don't know, man. Do you like Bubbling Muck?
No, only because there's going to be a good amount of times when we don't have a second swamp.
Yeah, what are you, a bubbling schmuck? I don't know why. Okay. Well, we need to cut cards. Let's be serious. Can we be serious for a second? I know we're making mono black, but can we try to be serious?
We can probably cut Sword of the Animist.
Wow. Again.
Just because it's our only sword that doesn't give protection from anything. It's just there to hit lands, which isn't bad, but I'd rather have protection on our equipment.
Okay, then. You heard it here first, people. Sword of the Animist. Mid.
Indeed.
3 more cards we need to cut, though. Are you happy with all these sorceries? I think we're happy with the sorceries. The Planeswalker, Professor Onyx. What do you think, Will?
Weak to grass types, like all Onyx.
Still playable.
Professor Onyx is just a combo card. It's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah. Is there good art for her, though? I'm sorry, this is important.
We can probably cut Bloodghast, only because we already have Bloodghast and maybe Nether Trader, only because they're like our weakest self-reanimators.
I don't disagree, and
and 9 Lives Familiar. We already have enough things that self-sack, and with all the tutors we added, we can find them.
I just don't like the cost of 9 Lives Familiar. Well, that puts us at 100, but are there any cards we're missing? That's the flip side of this token we haven't really looked at. I really wish I bought this version of the One Ring. I have no idea how much they cost right now, but...
Oh, you're talking about the secret layer, too much, or like weird, trippy...
Stupid, trippy, dippy, crazy looking... Yeah. Was it a secret layer?
I believe so.
I thought it was just from the set, because there are some pretty nutty ones just from the set. I wonder if there's any more... there's got to be some more serialized cards just sitting out there in boxes. What a shame.
Yeah, it looks like it's just from the set. It's just a trip. Oh, it was printed in the collector's packs. That's what it was.
Yeah, we didn't pull shit there. Actually, that's not true. I pulled Saruman, but he's not all that.
Yeah, the cheapest version is still the Smeagol continued art, and then the second cheapest version is the standard. The most expensive non-one of one is the Trippy Dippy one.
Yeah, it just looks ridiculous. All right, this is 100 cards. I think we should just try it, people. I think we should just give it a go. Was that convincing? Am I convincing you, Will? Does it seem like I'm ready to sacrifice everything?
Indeed.
All right, people. So that's Braids, the Sack Mommy, Cabal Minion. Go buy your Odyssey foils via the link in the description, because that is going to help out the channel the most. But if you can't do that, and I don't blame you, feel free to leave this video with a like. Whisper Silk Cloak. I don't know that we want Whisper Silk Cloak. We've got a lot of protection going for us already, but I like where your head's at. Let's see if we need to Whisper to the Cloak after a few playthroughs here. This is going to be a weird deck to test. I'm going to say that just outright, because I don't really... it's really contingent on what we're facing, who's going first, what's on second, you know... That sort of thing.
Sack Mommy's on third.
Yeah, exactly. A whole Abbott Costello routine. Like, we don't really know what we're up against. So, is 4 lands, an Imperial Seal, a Demonic Tutor, and a Horde Robber a good starting hand, Will? Seems pretty damn good to me.
Man, if Jeweled Lotus was still in the game, that would be such a good hand. But
Yeah, well, I mean, we could use the fetch imp seal a oh, where the hell's our commander? Wait up. Sorry.
we can isn't hold on.
I could have brought her.
We can imp steal one to find Dark Ritual and then Braids turn 2. Yes, that's a turn 2 Braids opener. And then we can play the Horde Robber, and then we get treasures until the end of time. So yeah, that's a turn 2 Braids with a token generator. That's
don't get too excited. I did just pass on that entire hand. Actually, what was that hand? Let's play that hand.
It was what was it? 3 swamps, a fetch, dark demonic tutor, Imperial Seal, and then the Horde Robber.
Sorry, guys. What you couldn't see was that Braids was not established as our commander. But, I mean, it's not. It wouldn't have been the end of the world. I just wanted to fix that. What was the swamp? Wait, what was the fetch? It doesn't really matter, but give me a fetch.
It was the black-green fetch. Can't remember the name of that.
I don't remember the name of it either. Well, Bloodstained Mire. Doesn't matter. Okay. What were the other cards?
Verdant Catacombs.
Still, it's already happens. We're going with a new one. Okay, so I do want to just see what this world looks like. Okay, so there we go. Shuffle. Who knows what the top of the deck looked like? I just remember the new black land from Tarkir. It makes dudes exiles things from the grave. I don't know if it's on you or your.
Pay 1 in a black, exile a creature from your graveyard to make a 1/1 skeleton. Sorry, it's a 1/1 spirit, I think. It's a 1/1 spirit because it's supposed to be Endure.
Did we really just get... I don't know. Well, Cavern of Souls isn't bad, I guess. Okay, Cavern of Souls is good going into next turn.
Yeah.
All right, Will, what did you want to grab here? Not Mana Crypt.
It was Dark Red.
I am in misery. Okay. That's that. Dark Red for next turn. We're gonna go Cavern of Souls because I'm a feisty little bitch who cares about counter spells. We'll Dark Red. And we'll Dark Red before we represent the Cavern of Souls. By the way, this is one of those times where you just might want to sequence this a little differently. Someone would probably use the mental misstep on Dark Ritual if they saw Cavern of Souls on the field, right? So fuck that. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do that. We're gonna play
Name human because I think the second most common type in our deck is human.
Yeah.
And by that I mean we have like 2 humans in the deck.
What about Minion, Will?
Literally I think just the other Braids potentially. Let me double check.
Not even. She's a nightmare. She's just a nightmare.
Wow, calling her Nightmare, that's disrespectful, Patrick. That's a commander.
I think she actually considers it a compliment.
We have enough humans in the deck. We actually have like 5 humans in the deck. That's worth.
All right, Will. What do you want to do? How do you feel about this? How many turns are we going to go before we call it a day? We want to get to turn 5.
Well, I mean, like from here, we usually just win because we sack a land, probably Cavern of Souls. We play the Horde.
Well, everyone else first. Everyone enjoy yourself first. Yeah, probably Cavern of Souls. So yeah, everyone else will do their thing. If they didn't lay a bunch of shit down, then they're probably losing something of value here. Is Braids alive? Cool. Next turn. At the beginning, we'll do the thing. We get rid of the Cavern of Souls. We just pulled the one ring off the top. That's kind of awkward, but we'll probably go Bloodstained Mire into Swamp.
And then we play the Horde Robber, and then from there we're probably gonna have somebody to swing into, and then get a treasure every turn.
Right.
So on Braids.
It has to be him. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Well, I mean, Braids will probably still attack, but okay. That seems like that. Next turn. Again, I'm gonna just go through the next turn phases and sacrifice a thing. We'll play another Swamp. I think Crucible of Worlds is like a valid thing to Demonic Tutor here because we're on our last land and this will just give us the potential to keep playing lands back. Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
I don't, unless there's something better. Guys, if you see a cleaner line here, the goal is to just stay in the game, and Crucible of Worlds keeps us there while at a certain point, everyone's
Uh,
going to run out of functional
is
things
is
to
the
do.
better play to find a protection thing, like one of our equipments that will protect braids?
Uh,
Because we're getting a treasure
provided,
every turn now.
well, provided it also generates something we can sack, then yes. I mean, yes, I understand that the horde.
Wealth and power makes a treasure every turn and gives protection from instants and sorceries.
That's probably the best one. It's 3 to
Uh,
cast, 2 to equip, or 2 to cast, 2
yeah,
to equip.
three to cast, two to equip,
3 to cast, 2 to equip. So if we
which is
DT
what's
right
going to make it
now,
awkward.
right? So we need to literally DT here, sack a swamp next turn. We should have a treasure, a swamp, and the swamp from hand going into next turn. We cast the thing, sacrifice the swamp. Next turn, we get the treasure in our original swamp. We equip the sword for the 2, and then we can attack. So it's like we technically, the math is there for that to actually play out. It's very slow. And who knows what we're going to top deck. So this actually might. I don't disagree. I think that works. Either that or Crucible of Worlds. Crucible's pretty safe. Sword of Animus is looking real good. I don't disagree. If someone gets rid of Horde Robber, like that's sort of our meal ticket here, our treasure token ticket here. Let's play this up to turn 7. Will I'm actually curious to see like if we could dig ourselves out of this hole. So I think we
I
will though.
don't. The weird thing is, I don't think we're in a hole because we're going neutral on braids when everybody else is going down on braids.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no. We want sort of wealth and power.
Wealth and power.
Yeah, so shuffle. We'll attack here. We'll attack here. We will hit the person we can deal combat damage to. I mean, that's one issue I have with this card. It's contingent on connecting, but we should be able to get in. I think people are going to probably reserve their lands last because they kind of need that to play their game of Magic.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, there's at least like one deck that has like only 4 creatures in it.
How do you feel about Urza's Saga off the top, sir? I think it's a little too soon to rip the Saga, but we will go to combat. We'll do the thing. We'll create a treasure. Let's go ahead and play our Swamp per turn. We technically have 2 treasures here then. We could use the...
Wait, why'd you sack a swamp instead of sacking a treasure?
What do you mean, last turn?
No, like,
the start of this turn. I'm sorry, you're absolutely right. Yeah. No. I was thinking that it might be equivalent to the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's just permanent mana versus
no. Yeah, no, I completely forgot it was there. Okay, so I've got 1 energy indicating the treasure. We're going to go ahead and use that. Actually, that's a lie. We're going to use these 3 swamps to play sort of the wealth and power, excuse me, and then we'll sack a treasure next turn, going into next turn.
And then with wealth and power in play, Braids should be able to just roll out the game by existing.
Yeah, so we've got play actions here. So let's go Urza's Saga, Urza's Swamp, the Sword of Wealth and Power. This is turn 6. Hopefully we've put them in a rut after turn 2, and no one has sort of solutions to this. If for whatever reason Braids was killed upon that turn, I think our next play is the One Ring. People should be in a tight spot, so I don't think we're going to have too much contention here. If anyone was pushing for anything, I think the counters would have flung earlier in case someone was trying to... I don't know how they're going to push for a win that early into a game where she's down turn 2. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shenanigans here that we're running, but you get the idea. Going into turn 7, I feel like our goal is pretty clear. We've got... She's fine. Like, we're not really worried about Braids at this point, unless there's a Chasm, right?
Yeah, we win from here just by
not even
existing.
Not even a Chasm would save you. It'd need to be like a mass sack thing.
And from here, we can play the other Braids, and then we can sacrifice 2 treasures on upkeep, and then since no one has artifacts, we draw 3 cards. And we just do that.
Yeah, I have the other Braids up in case we need to reference it, but yeah, that's pretty fucking good. I think we could stop at 6. But what about the Braids mirror?
We cry.
I think you just cry. Whoever gets there first, really.
Yeah, well, here's the funny thing. Both players will play Braids turn 2. And then it's whoever has to sack Braids first.
Oh yeah, where are you in seat order? And what does your hand look like?
I don't know seed order's the thing. Like it is such a weird interaction. I don't know if seat order decides it.
You know what's weird? Well, wait. No, well, no. If it's Braids turn two, Braids turn two, you want to be last in seat order. You want the other person to have to succumb to the sack first, ideally. This is a weird norm. I feel like the win percentage is probably higher for seat one and two. I'm gonna assume. I haven't looked at the stats. I'm told Mons did the stats. I'll trust. But this is a list that probably wants it's a little bit more. It's not reactionary, but I think it doesn't mind going after people. It will certainly prefer going first. But if you go first, it just preps someone to use the swords or something to try to remove it. And we don't
By
have
the way,
much.
this hand is literally
Gas.
just a War and Soul Trader combo.
It's fucking gas. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. We're not
we
even
ignore Braids this one. We just go
Yeah.
for the thing.
Yeah, I mean it's weird because we do have the Soul Trader specimen entomb. We're gonna entomb the
Gravecrawler. We entomb Gravecrawler. We Vampiric Tutor for Blood Artist.
Yeah. Do we get there next turn? I'm sorry, wait up. So let's just do Lotus Petal, Swamp. We'll do Swamp, Vampiric Tutor. What'd you say you wanted to grab? I'm sorry.
Blood Artist, or one of the subsequent sack loop wind ones.
It's a little slow. It's a little slow getting there, but
Yeah, this is a slow hand, but like it has a very clear win. If you don't want to go for that, we can go for look for Vampiric Tutor, and then just do what we did last time.
I don't hate this. I don't hate this.
Specimen. As long as we hit another land at some point, we get there.
Well, look. Either way, this was a turn two Braids. Like, very easily, we could have gone for anything else. Namely, probably Soul Ring.
Yes, it might. The play was probably actually Soul Ring over
just to
Dark.
Yeah, just to prop the Soul Trader down, and then the Soul Trader plus Specimen with Ring is pretty clean to like get the target to reanimate.
Braids with Specimen is enough to do the whole Braids thing, and
I mean, true. I don't mind the excess though, because our Entomb play, I think we would have done things a little differently. Like I said, we could roll this out to do the Gravecrawler, Worn Soul Trader, Blood Artist, which is not horrible, or we can just play for Braids. Let's play for Braids. I'm sorry, let's walk this back because that's what we want to do. So let's see if we could hit this combo. I don't know what's more advisable here. I feel like doing this unprotected is bad. Dark Red Soul Ring Mana Vault is turn one Braids.
Jordan, there are not a ton of turn one Braids plays. Actually, you know what we should probably do, and I say this unironically, we may want to run the Daring Fiend Bonder because we can entomb it, and that's protection.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
We can entomb for a sack outlet for Braids, or we can entomb for Braids protection.
I don't hate that. Let's just do this. Let's just do this the way we've set up. I'll play the Specimen now, and then I want to set up the Entomb, or should we just play the Blood Artist? Play the Blood Artist next turn. Sedgemoor Witch. I mean, we want to do Worn Soul Trader. And then
mana wise, it's better to
probably.
But
we missed a land drop to get the
the land drop is what's hurting.
Right. Fuck, man.
Yeah, that's the play should have been we went for Soul Ring and we went for Braids actually, but we just missed a whole bunch of land drops, so we could have done the combo, but the land drops kind of killed us.
Grim Petal Ritual, I guess. Any other obvious ways? Let's mull. Let's do some mulls and see what we can hit. We want to turn one Braids. Okay, let's find a turn one Braids. This is not it.
It's going to be rare turn one Braids.
I do think so. Cavern of Souls, though, is not a bad start. Cavern of Souls, Swamp, and Dark Rit would do it, by the way.
That's turn two Braids with protection.
Turn one.
Oh, if you do, before we do this, maybe Daring Fiend Bonder. Let's find a cut.
Oh, yeah. I did want to just give us an idea of how efficiently we can get Braids down. Just let's do a couple of hands before we play one more, just to see if we can connect. Let's do this as an experiment. I want to see how consistently we can hit a turn two Braids off of just the initial draw of 7, not mulliganing, just initial draw of 7. And then if we see any turn 1 braids, that frequency as well. But let's do it a good like 10 times and see how consistent this is. Because I think that's probably the most important part if you're trying to play this into a cEDH tournament, or if you're just trying to play competitive uh, Gemstone Caverns. Yeah, that's the card. What did I say? I'm sorry. Did I say Cavern of Souls?
Yeah, you said Cavern of Souls.
Sorry, Gemstone Caverns. We were looking at Gemstone Caverns there. I know it was probably hard to see. What did you want to add? I'm sorry.
Daring Fiendbonder, the indestructible counter guy.
No, I like him as a potential target. Any immediate cards you could think that you'd want to remove?
I'm looking through, and it's like maybe one of our artifacts, but I'm not entirely sure which one.
Yeah, it feels weird. Most of these things are expendable, so it's like, what do you prefer to get rid of? Artifacts are not easy to recover, if at all, so it's like, I'm okay to lose some of these. I think the Liquid Metal Torque is maybe the weakest one.
It's either that or Jeweled Amulet, but Liquid Metal Torque is probably...
Yeah, I don't even mind the piggy bank, though, man. Let's just let's sideline the Liquid Metal Torque. I don't dislike it, but I think we could sideline it for now. But let's go ahead. Let's just record some. Let's record some hands. See what we can hit. So this is our first initial 7. So is this a hit? It is not. So I kind of want to. Let me just pull up a notation app so I can get like some hashtags going or something. Okay, so X. This is not a turn 1 or a turn 2, regardless of our draw. Okay. How about this? We've got Chrome Mox. Dead Marsh. What is this? Each land is a swamp. I don't know that we need that.
Oh, that's Borg.
Yeah, we that's fine. We can leave it for now. But I mean, Chrome Mox with Horde Robber. That's awful. What else do we get? We probably want to play the Horde Robber, or I mean, we just got the Create Treasures, the Treasure Dredger. Technically, this is a turn 2. Technically, this is turn 2.
Chrome Mox anything like
so yeah. No, so we'll go. I'm sorry, I went for the draw. So
yeah.
If we do this, we could do Horde Robber or Treasure Dredger. I would rather just keep Treasure Dredger. Oh nope, that's a fucking lie. It does require 1 mana.
Yeah, it's a Horde Robber because it's the one that nets mana.
Right, so we'll Chrome Mox that, play the Horde Robber next turn, regardless of what we draw. Sure, P Vista, this. That's enough mana for a turn 2. So there's a hit. Okay. Next.
And then we, on upkeep, sacrifice Chrome Mox because artifact mana is the most vulnerable, and then we just keep swinging until we burn everyone out.
Man, this is not that far, dude. Culling the Weak is like a powerful drug. I know there are mulligans we can take. I just want to see, like, with fresh hands, what we can accomplish. There's only 1 land here. We're going to give ourselves the benefit of the draw. It is not a 1 CMC thing. If it was a 1 CMC creature, which I don't think we have any of, we
have a couple, like the Specimen, Grave Crawler, Forsaken Miner, Blood, what's it called? Blood-Soaked Champion.
Any one of those would have been great, because you transform this, play that. This is a Bolt land, right? Yeah, play that. Next turn, Culling the Weak, turn 2. Okay, so this is a bomb.
It is funny because I would not keep this hand even if we did have that opener, only because it's a really early Braids into sacrificing the 1 land we have off of Braids.
This is not horrible. Obviously, it's slow as hell, but we're not going to keep this. No, this is another fail. So, I mean, we were really lucky with our hands earlier, I gotta say. Like, the first 3 games we just tested, were all really solid.
They were 2 lands and a top deck tutor. That's just easy Braids.
This is looking a little bit more promising. We've got this. We've got the Jeweled Amulet. Jeweled Amulet will generate us 3 mana by turn 2. Unfortunately, we're just a little shy mana-wise. We would need... I'm sorry, I should shuffle, technically. So if we got a swamp out of the deck, it would be Reanimate. Right, we do this. Next turn, we pull a Reanimate. Yeah, we're really, really close here. Because we have to do this. It's 2 black and a...
Yeah, it's color off.
Yeah, so this is a mess. Let's do one more go here. A couple more goes on line
Oh,
2.
actually, could we use Wishclaw? No, Wishclaw can't get there.
No,
Unfortunate.
I don't think so.
It's a turn 3 Braids, but it has stuff we can sack and some protection. So even if it's a slower Braids,
No.
it's still a fine Braids.
Is it relevant that we get the turn 2 braids, though? I think we are trying to aim for that,
It's
though, for the most
best
part,
to hit
right?
a turn 2 Braids, but it's not like mandatory.
This is no, this is neither here nor there. This is not going to get there.
I think if we wanted to go more explosive, we could run Mox Opal and run a couple more of the 2-mana rocks, like Liquid Metal Torque and Everflowing Chalice.
Well, I mean, we're pretty damn close here, dude. Phyrexian Tower with Jadar, excuse me. I like Turgrid, but I feel like that's our prime suspect for the Chromox here. This is a turn 2, by the way. So, like, you do this, you play Jadar. That is with our draw, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Next turn, Dance of the Dead. Neat. We'll play Phyrexian Tower. At the beginning of our end step, if you control no creatures with decay, we would have made a zombie that last turn, and then we would sack the zombie.
Play Braids, make
yeah.
another zombie on end step. We are now netting a zombie every time. So
that was actually a really cool start with stacks as well. So like we've got stacks in a generator, cut down to help remove anything that might be pesky. Mind Crank is kind of dope, but it's really only played with the Bloodchief Ascension. Dance of the Dead would have been neat to recover Turgrid, but she had to get exiled. I like it. I mean, that was fine. I feel like there's maybe excuse to get rid of the cut down instead, but I would rather have some form of interaction. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. One more successful turn 2. Again, we're not taking mulls here. We're just seeing what we see. This is good. Phyrexian Tower, Ancient Tomb, Gravecrawler. That's it. We're there. Right? As a matter of fact, I probably Ancient Tomb the Felwar Stone /
we have to get out for, Gravecrawler on turn 1. Oh no, Ancient Tomb with Felwar Stone.
Yeah. Well, provided we, provided our opponents have a black producing land.
Yeah, I mean,
otherwise
even just swamp Gravecrawler, and then next turn
Phyrexian
eat
Tower.
over 2-mana producers with Ritual.
Yeah, so I mean, this is hyper successful. Yeah, we'll take that. 2, what do we got? 2, 4, 6.
Ancient Tomb Felwar Stone into Swamp is enough to get there. We don't need to do the sack thing.
Dude, again, these 1-cost bodies, Culling the Weak. This is turn 1. This is actually, here you go. Here's your turn 1. Gravecrawler, Lotus Petal, Culling the Weak. Sorry, Will. I know you're if you're viewing this during the live, you're not seeing this, but yeah, we've got a turn 1 Braids right there. So this gets a special mark. This is gonna get a Q.
I would like to say this is a turn 1 Braids. I would not keep that hand.
No, because we're kind of SOL going into next
turn. We literally just go, okay, sack land. Next turn, sack Braids.
Yeah, I mean, here are our draws. So the draw for turn would have been Urza Saga. The next draw would have been Dragonfire Blade. No, it's not. We're not in a good space. It's weird. Like even if you can turn 1 Braids,
you probably shouldn't.
No, but she's not a zombie. Like she's not gonna let you play Gravecrawler back. Like that'd be awesome.
I mean, she's not a zombie, but she came back from the dead unbanned.
Yeah. 6, 8. All right. So next trial run here. Am I wrong? Is this not it? Soul Ring next turn and Blood Pet. I mean, we're not going to do that. I mean, we technically could go Blood Pet here as well, and then Soul Ring and sack the Blood Pet. But I think just it's more appropriate to just put down the Soul Ring with the Lightning Greaves, and then turn 2 rolls around.
Braids with protection.
You P Vista the Swamp. I don't know, guys. This it's getting there. It's
I mean, Drownyard Temple Braids protects us, so we're
dude, this is like one of the better starters for sure. So like if the Lightning Greaves stick. All right, so guys, who was counting? Are you interested to know how many successful turn 2 Braids we had, Will? Out of 10 games. 10 games.
10 games? Probably like 4 or 5.
It's an even split. So no mulligans, no mulligan hands. Starting 7, we got 5 games where we didn't connect. Although I will say we had some, like Will was noting, some strong turn 3 braids, like with setup. And then the other half, we got turn 2, turn 2, turn 2, turn 1, turn 2. This is the strongest turn 2 in my opinion. I love this start. I think the Drowned Temple into this is great. We have the Soul Ring to keep that in play, and everyone's fucked unless they can get rid of the Lightning Greaves or just like mass removal. But at this point, it's going to be very hard to do that. So unless they again like have something that says each player sacrifices a creature, I think there's a good excuse to just throw down the Blood Pet here just to have that as a body if we're worried about some mass sacrifice, or the Nether Trader, which I think we were kind of iffy on in the list anyways. But
Nether Trader is iffy because it's whenever another creature dies,
yeah,
you can hit black to reanimate it.
yeah, it does work off turn, but yeah.
Well, there's a skeleton that is worth it. That's like when it gets sacked, you can pay it black to reanimate it. I can find this really quick. Is it like Shambling Dead?
I gotta say, dude, I'm impressed with our first attempt at this deck. I think it's doing what we want it to do. It's fairly consistent for not, taking mulligans. And again, you get a free mull of 7. So like any one of those games could have been pushed to a turn 2 play with a decent setup. I do think that we really want more of these motherfuckers. What's his name? Jadar. This is a good card. Like we want more of Jadar. So
Tenacious Dead. Tenacious Dead is a 1-mana 1/1 that when it dies, you can pay 1 to black to return it to the battlefield tapped. So it's another 1-mana body, and it's another reassembling skeleton.
Should we not put Orcish Bowmaster in the deck?
We could put Orcish. We could put Opposition Agent.
Just Orcish. I feel like Orcish is actually quite good. I think that people will get some draw engine online, and it's just another free token for us. I do think Orcish is always a good call.
Let's cut Turgid for Opposition Agent. I don't feel like there's ever a game where we were like, yeah, let's Turgid, because we kind of explosive ramped, then we just stalled at like 3 mana.
If the goal is to hit Braids fast, or at least by turn 3, then I don't think Turgid is like as valid a option unless we have it like that. Unless we're that fucking player who's just got the reanimate Entomb line like set up with the Braids, which is asking for so much. I think it's maybe a bridge too far. I agree with you though. I think Turgid for Orcish Bowmaster, and you said you wanted to add the Tenacious Dead.
Yeah, Tenacious Dead instead of the Shadow guy.
Yeah, I like that. Nether Trader.
Tenacious, yeah, Nether Trader. Yeah, because Tenacious Dead is just it's a 1-mana 1/1 that reanimates itself for 2 mana. It's literally opposite of a Nether Trader, but having a 1-mana body is really good, as we saw.
Jordan, yeah, no, I know. I think that the 1-mana bodies that we can reanimate, I think should be valued a little bit more highly. And right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. I think that's a good count. I'm not in disagreement, Jordan, on the 2 CMC rocks. I think our success rate could be higher, honestly. Jet Medallion's an interesting choice.
Beseech the Mirror might be able to be cut only because I don't think we're ever hitting 4 mana or triple black.
No. Well, realistically, we're not going to get there. It's always Braids, right? Like, so we're not going to get Beseech the Mirror mana confidently. Do you want to Jet Medallion, or would you rather Mind Stone? What's the other 2 CMC rock that we incorporate over Beseech the Mirror? I think there's room for one more.
We had Liquid Metal Torque. I think we already have Mind. Yeah, we already have Mind Stone.
I'm sorry. Liquid Metal Torque is the one we kept. But yeah, Mind Stone we... Sorry, you guys can't see any of this.
Yeah, I think it's probably Jet Medallion. Just because... I like the
call too.
Is it?
Okay, so it connects with like 80% of our deck. It reduces the cost of black cards by 1 generic.
Yeah, like
it's basically the same thing, except it doesn't need to tap.
Yeah, it doesn't need to tap, but it also
works multiple times.
It whiffs on several of our cards because they're either no colorless pips or they're colorless.
Would there be any reason to go for something that reduces activation costs to help ease the burden of reanimators?
Jet Medallion is still probably correct, even if it whiffs on like 40% of our deck. It's still actually wow, that whiffs on way more than 40% of our deck. Thinking about it, Jet Medallion because including lands, but to be fair, Mana Rocks don't affect our
Right.
lands at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
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 Um,
Do you prefer the one and done mana, or
also,
do you prefer Jet Medallion?
really quick, my dumb mind, Gem Medallion doesn't affect the Black Pip only cards. Neither does Mind Stone and Liquid Metal Torque. Um,
Is there
Jet
Jet?
Medallion's usually better because it can hit multiple things. I think that that's probably a better swing.
All right. So this is where we're at. You think with braids, more or less
Yeah,
finalized. More or less finalized. I mean,
yeah,
honestly, it looks good. It says it's 99% competitive. I'm gonna take your word on that. Tapped out. Um, I think it's solid. I think if you're trying to put braids down efficiently and have mana sufficient to play some of these effects, like again, your entombs are going to be very important to get the thing to just die moving forward. Like have that as a solution, and then if you're in top deck mode with everyone else, you're in a better position. It's ideal if your start incorporates something that's generating tokens like the Horde Robber or Jadar, but I don't know. We got there pretty consistently, and a lot of those hands looked really good. And like what was saying with some of them, like I would even consider taking some of those hands that weren't as quick, but had a better setup. Um,
yeah. We also can include a couple more generic stacks pieces that could slow down the game and make it so
yeah,
that we don't have to get there as early, like Chains of Mephistopheles and things like
yeah.
that. So you can adjust the deck a bit more to make it better, or at least more reliable. Because by
Mm-hmm.
just drawing into one of your other stacks pieces, you buy a turn, which makes all of your hands more viable.
Well, this is not a.
So
This is
there's a
not
couple things
a.
that we might be able to add that would help out later.
What kind of deck is this? What stacks does this want? Is this using?
Um,
Is this using that one that taps things down on upkeep? So, so
you thinking of Winter Orb?
no, not Winter Orb. The Tangle Wire resource denial.
Oh yeah, Tangle War.
Tangle
Also,
Wire is interesting.
really quick, Winter Moon. Why are we not running Winter Moon?
Oh,
That
is this?
card's gross.
I don't disagree. I think that it's in lieu of interaction, of much interaction. I think we should be running a little bit more stacks. Players can't untap more than one non-basic land during their turn. Oh, what do you mean with all the swamps we have?
We only run swamps, and everybody else is gonna go. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep my lands. Oh,
Ooh, dude, that's a
oh,
killer fucking start. If your turn one is like Swamp Soul Ring Wintermoon, get fucked.
yeah, like that is vicious. We could
Yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah,
continue
yeah.
editing this deck for like another 2 hours, just adding all the weird stacks things.
Let's.
But
Yeah.
stacks is definitely a way to go with this deck. We probably should add. Let's add Winter Moon and a couple things in the sideboard. Chains of Mephistopheles, Winter Moon, and like not Damping Spear. I don't think
I'm
Damping
gonna take out
Spear.
the Mind Crank Bloodchief Ascension. I don't
Fair.
know that we need it. Let me just
I don't
add.
think we need combos in the deck, period, because it's probably better to just run more interruption than to run combos.
Yeah, I would rather stifle my opponents from having a game and then demoralize them and win through
Yeah, because I
attrition.
mean, just putting sort of a what is it, wealth and power, putting sort of wealth and power and braids and swinging for four every turn is a fast enough clock because everybody's completely bent on all lands. So
Ben.
no one has lands. No one has. Everybody's going. Okay, I need to hit all of the fast mana in my entire deck, and then try to win on one turn before braids trigger.
I mean, is Vexing Bauble viable? Do you want to Vexing Bauble people?
I mean, that's a lock if we hit braids, because then no one can play the free stuff. So
Right,
yeah,
right, right.
Vexen Bobble's good.
I kind of like Vexing Bauble too. Just I'm avoiding Chains of Mephistopheles because I know someone who watches this might want to build this, and if you want the IRL cards, then Vexing Bauble is a little bit more accessible. I'm going to put Chains on the side though. I don't disagree with Will. I think Chains of Mephistopheles is pretty good here.
I'm quickly going through all cards that say can't and
Oh
see if there's
yeah,
something.
Professor Onyx. Yeah, yeah. Like Will said, we could probably edit this a good bit. Because we have the Chain of Smog, we can keep the Magecraft cards in there for now if we just want to humor that idea. I don't think it's like impossible to do, but I'm not gonna lie. Professor Onyx in hand with Chrome Mox, it's probably the thing I'm Chrome Moxing. Probably. Oh shit, we just lost a little bit of our competitive edge. Well, we're down to 93. We thought we were improving the list. Tap Tap's pretty fucking wrong. I think that these are two major improvements. We do lose combo potential if that's what it was putting
That's probably
notes on.
what it's looking at.
Yeah, no. It's a good call. Do what we're doing. Add more stacks. All right, guys. I think we're gonna remove. Huh?
Do you want half a beer?
Yeah. I'll join you in a second.
Wait, no, I'll bring over a beer.
No, I'm wrapping up.
Oh, okay.
My wife's asking if I want half a beer. I want the. Well, I'll have half a beer with her. All right, guys. I think that's it for the list, though. I really like it. Will, thoughts? Braids?
Good. Seems good, considering the fact that cEDH as a meta has slowed down by like a turn or two recently. I feel like Braids can get there, because if Braids gets one trigger, that slows down the whole game by a turn, which then sets up for another trigger and another and another and another and another. So people can't remove Braids or choose not to remove Braids or have to use the removal on something else. Braids just snowballs into a win. So it really is just it's kind of like a game of chicken between having the combo players try to combo off before Braids locks them out, but then waiting for the control player to use removal on Braids so that they can combo off with no removal to stop them. So Braids probably would play out kind of like a game of chicken, in my opinion.
So here's what I'll say. I agree with Will. I think that we should try to incorporate more ramp or piggy banks. Anything we missed, I think we hit it all. But there's maybe an excuse for sacrifice or some other line of play with a reanimate. I don't think we want to go that high CMC wise. A lot of the 4 CMC stuff I'm sort of tilting my head at. I think you could probably remove Onyx. You could probably remove the combo piece, the 3 CMC combo piece here. The Sedgemoor Witches. And the Chain of Smog is still kind of... I kind of like,
the only one that I kind of am fine with, because it makes tokens for Braids if we need to, and then it's also like the most compact combo of just Sedgemoor Witch, make infinite 1/1 swing next turn.
Is it bad that I just like Smog by itself even? I feel like people will give in to
fuck your hand.
I think people will give into the chaos. I think that they'll just have enough. They'll be like, fuck me, man. Like, you know what am I doing with, like, why don't I...
Do you know what's going to happen, Patrick? You Chain of Smog somebody and they go, I discard these 2 lands that I couldn't play anyways.
Mm-hmm. Right, and then they'll target you. You just need to be better on the receiving. Don't Chain of Smog your friends if you have nothing to do afterwards. Please make sure that you have something assembled on the board that you can work with. That is kind of bad. What's kind of bad? Which one's bad? The Sedgemoor. I do think we could probably remove Onyx, though. I'm with you, Jordan.
Probably to Onyx, but
yeah, I like this list a lot. I think that this list has
legs.
It has legs, and it's gonna hack them off in the best possible way. But we're playing mono black. Yeah, mono black is it's a weird space to play in. Like, your commander needs to do something really good in particular, and I'll say I still have faith in Tiny Bones as a stacks commander. I think that this is an amazing hybrid stacks commander. I don't know that Smokestacks is integral, but it is one of the cards we saw in our opening hands, and the game we did see it, we did have mana sufficient to play it, right? Our last game. I don't think it was bad there. As a matter of fact, it would have expedited this whole process. So I'm like 50-50 on Smokestacks. Cut the Onyx, cut a lot of the combo pieces, make this about attrition, play better stacks, play low end stacks and just screw people over, and then pop the Braids into play. And I think we're in a good space. I think we're even on Manifold, right? So it's like we have great ways to put down artifact-based stacks, colorless artifact-based stacks. So yeah, this is good. I'm liking this quite a bit. Yeah. Anyway, guys, if you have thoughts on braids and you're watching this as a VOD, feel free to leave them in the comment section after the video. I'm going to end our very important poll. Looks like peaches receive it today, folks. I get my peaches out in Georgia. I don't know about you guys. At any rate, Pat, that's Will. And we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace, suckers. I sacrificed all your shit. Actually good.
Yeah.
Actually good. I am impressed. I'm impressed, Braids.